What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Huge Spider-Man news breaking late last night as renowned horror director and original Spider-Man trilogy director Sam Raimi had been announced to be in negotiations to take up the lead on Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. And now the Spider-Man news continues today in that a Kraven solo film is not only well underway, but seems to be put squarely in the MCU. And based on a report we ran within the last 2 weeks of a brand new filming location for Spider-Man 3, it seems like things are well on their way to introducing this member of the Sinister Six. Not only that, having them cross over into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and eventually face off with Tom Holland's Peter Parker. We're going to break down exactly where this news is coming from, what industry insider has corroborated or at least given this publication credibility, and what it says about this solo Kraven film that's been in talks since 2018. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including a limited edition Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So today's report actually comes in the form of an exclusive from the illuminerdi, and if you're asking why you've heard that name a lot here recently, it's because they've been coming pretty hard with the leaks, especially since the first of the year. And even though a newer publication, industry insiders like Charlie Murphy have recently taken to some public forums to not only defend who they are, but validate and verify where they get their information and add a ton of credibility to their outlet. And they reported within the last 24 hours, quote, "The illuminerdi has seen the casting grid for the potential Kraven the Hunter solo film, and it could have a direct impact within the MCU. It seems like Kraven will be very familiar to the version from the core Marvel Comics universe. He specifically referred to as a maniacal big game hunter in it, and much like his comics counterpart." It goes on to say that, but unlike Venom and Morbius, which largely tried to not refer to Spider-Man directly, Kraven is also specifically mentioned to be hunting Spider-Man. That puts him squarely in the middle of the MCU, making their antagonism a core part of the character and begging for a confrontation. And they're right, that's well written, but truly, if he is in the MCU, what's going on with Spider-Man now would leave him to be hunted. And as I said in the prologue, we had gotten a report in the last 2 weeks that a brand new filming location for Spider-Man Far From Home, alongside all of the big cities in the US that you'd expect, included Iceland. And if you're not familiar with what it looks like in Iceland, the terrain would most closely match where Kraven's from, somewhere in the most eastern part of Europe near Russia. Either way, Spider-Man's story is going to call for him to be on the run and laying low, and somewhere in the middle of a heavily wooded area and not in the middle of a big city might be exactly where he decides to do it. And the introduction of Kraven the Hunter, but not finishing that story, allowing the film to focus on Peter Parker, not making it Kraven's big hunt as it had originally been rumored back in 2018 when the showrunner who's attached to the show had said so publicly, and then it completely went underground and we haven't heard anything about it since. Here we are 24 months later, and it would make a lot of sense to introduce Kraven first during Spider-Man 3 and then allow Sony to build him out in a solo film, much how they're doing for Venom and Morbius. And look, the cat's out of the bag now. That Kraven movie is not a rumor. It's been talked into existence and been talked about over at Sony, just not for a while. And now we can clearly see with Venom and the release of this Morbius movie what Sony is doing. They're taking a page directly out of the MCU's book and taking time to build up all these characters, albeit a little odd that it's Spider-Man's rogue gallery instead of superheroes, but to the exact same end of them all teaming up, this time in a supervillain team, the Sinister Six. And when they do, each member will have had some familiarity with the audience in their own film. Yeah, they didn't get to do that with Vulture, and presumably Mysterio's going to stay dead at this point, opening up a couple of roster spots, but we will have Venom, we will have Morbius. Of course, the Vulture and Scorpion have both been introduced now. If you add Kraven to the mix, that leaves one spot open still for Dr. Octopus, which has now made headlines at least 3 times, but we can squarely rule out Jared Harris, as he has debunked the rumor that he would be playing Doc Ock during the Morbius film. Either way, the Sinister Six, like I said, are out of the bag. It's hard for anybody to be a standout at this point and say that they're not coming. And for fans of Spider-Man, and specifically Tom Holland's Peter Parker, it sure looks like there's no shortage of films coming up in his narrative. Now, whether they, him, him and Kraven all stay in the MCU is yet to be seen, but one final thought I'll leave you with as we push further and further into the comings and goings over at Sony and what they're doing with their Spider-Verse. Something important to remember is that they can do whatever they want when it comes to Spider-Man, and as we've all figured out here real recently, there's a good chance that any of the characters that were introduced during the Spider-Man films that weren't already in the MCU, so Ned, Aunt May, not Tony Stark, but Zendaya, those sort of characters, they can all be used with impunity over at Sony, meaning it might be hard to not have references to someone like Iron Man or the Avengers, but how much false action do you need in a film? How many times do you need them to go back over details of his arc? If at least you have the immediate supporting cast, it won't feel as awkward, or at least one can hope. But either way, Sony has everything they need to take Tom Holland's Peter Parker and drop him square into their Spider-Verse to square off against the Sinister Six, especially considering where they wouldn't have done this in the last half decade. They've already been able to tell Disney no matter what Disney decides to do with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, he's going to face off against the Sinister Six, and we all just have to hope that it's in the MCU and under Kevin Feige's at least co-direction, where some industry insiders have indicated it may be, but has yet to be confirmed. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, how hype you would be for a solo Kraven film, and if you agree with me what Sony's doing and taking a page directly out of Disney and Marvel Studios playbook and trying to build out all of these characters one by one. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 600,000 subscriber mark. We just gave 1 away at the 550 mark and 2 away at the 500 mark. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes at the channel, like the limited edition Infinity Saga box set. We gave the first one away on New Year's Eve. We'll be giving this one away on the 2nd anniversary of the channel in April. If you want to be entered to win either of the prizes or any of the future stuff, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, like and comment on the video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, and if you've missed any of the past announcements, no worries. All you have to do is scroll back through the channel, look for the winner announcement plus the subscriber mark in the title, hit that, and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.